Hello, AP European History students. This is your virtual learning lesson for Tuesday, April 7th. I am recording this the morning of Monday, April 6th. And the reason why I tell you that is I read an article over the weekend saying that our governor would be making some sort of announcement today regarding school. So if this video is somehow still usable, but maybe needs some little tweaking here and there because of that announcement, I'll make a second video for you to watch that accommodates that announcement. I just don't know what he's going to say. So I just want to acknowledge that that is a thing happening later on today from when I'm filming, but this is your work for Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to Tuesday the 7th. I have my next doctor's appointment with my OB. I think I get to have an ultrasound to see little one. So that should be exciting. Anyway, I'll bring back pictures if we do have an ultrasound, because by this point, hands, feet, that kind of stuff should be visible. So that'll be kind of cool. Anyway, let me walk you through what we're doing today. Starting last Thursday night and continuing Friday and Saturday, the College Board rolled out the information about our modified online AP exams, and then teachers in the AP community began creating and sharing resources to help get us better prepared for what that exam will look like. Sorry, I need to set a timer on my phone to make sure that I'm not talking for too long and then having to edit this later to keep it within the time limits of YouTube. Anyway, basically AP tests have been pushed back a week from when they were originally scheduled, but starting at different times because they are shorter in length. So we are now taking the AP European History exam on Wednesday, May 13th, beginning at 3 p.m. So this is a little bit deflating because I know that this is before our test was before seniors were officially done. And I don't think that's the case anymore, even if we're using the original senior end date. But I hope that those of you that are hoping to earn a passing score on the AP exam will stick with me as we review and practice skills to get ready for this modified test. This is what the modified test will look like. The stimulus-based multiple choice questions, SAQ and LAQ, are all dead for 2020. You are instead writing one DBQ, and it has been condensed from 7 documents to only 5. And with this trimming of documents, the College Board is also trimming our time. Instead of the recommended 60 minutes, we will now receive 45 minutes. This is something that had me a little nervous at first, but keep in mind we get to type now, which definitely saves us some time. And the College Board has modified our rubric. There are 10 points instead of 7. I think that they're doing this as a way to have a little bit more data to help them distinguish a student who is a 3 from a 4, a 4 from a 5, that kind of thing, before they had, 55 multiple choice questions and 3 SAQs and an LAQ and a DBQ to help distinguish you all. So I think that's why they've expanded the rubric. The good news is there are no new skills on the rubric. They've just attempted to make ways for you to earn points a little easier for doing a little less. We'll actually break down the rubric skill by skill on Thursday, so you can see what those changes will look like on the new rubric. And that should be interesting for us all, especially you seniors who have been through 3 years of AP history classes to suddenly write a slightly different DBQ. Will be interesting, but we'll be okay. Thursday night, I watched Trevor Packer's webinar where he first explained changes to the exam, and I was totally freaking out. But then Friday, when we actually got to see the new rubric, I felt a little bit better once I saw that it did not contain any new skills. And then Saturday, I watched a webinar for AP Euro teachers and a second webinar for AP World teachers. I did a Euro video, a World video by this review company called Marco Learning that I've come to really enjoy. I really like the materials they're putting out right now. After watching those webinars, I feel a lot more confident about our abilities to be successful on this modified DBQ-based AP exam. You guys have done quite a bit of DBQ practice already this year, not to mention work you've done in past years. And I really think with, 2 or 3 more 45-minute DBQs, we should be able to kind of get the hang of it, of pacing it. And we'll build in a lot of skills practice between now and May 13th as well. So I feel really confident about our ability to get ready for this test and to still earn the passing scores on it that we expected with the original exam. One other thing that has me feeling pretty good is we wrote a DBQ right before school closed. So one of the things that I am making arrangements for is to start meeting with you guys one-on-one in Google Hangouts to score this old DBQ. What I want to do is I do want to provide some additional unassisted points in Hack. I've been asked for that by a couple of students, and this DBQ is a great way for me to do that because I got to watch you write it. So what I want to do is, knowing that you wrote the DBQ based on the old rubric, I want to use that primarily as my way to actually award you unassisted points. When you see the new rubric, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from, but we'll do kind of like a hybrid of where the old rubric would have helped you score, we'll use, where the new rubric would help you score more, we'll use, and kind of blend those things together to give you some more unassisted points in the gradebook. Additionally, this is just a really good chance for you to receive some informative feedback as you transition to the new rubric that I'll explain to you on Thursday. So what you're going to see in Google Classroom, in addition to today's post for today's lesson, there'll be another post with a Google form that allows you to sign up for a Hangout with me. And I've done a few of these with students over the course of the time that we've been closed, but now you have to do one with me to get these unassisted points. So it's not like everybody has to do it all on the same day. I'm really going to spread these out over the course of about 2 weeks. And I'm budgeting like 30 minutes in between appointments because I think it's going to take you and I probably 20 minutes to 25 minutes to get through your DBQ together. So what I'm doing is every B day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've got, I think, 5 appointments. And then on Fridays, I've got 8 appointments. So find a time where you know you can get yourself to wake up and meet with me. Okay, I know I'm awake earlier than you guys. So find a time where you're not going to ghost me or ditch me, and we can look at your DBQ together. Okay. One thing that has been widely circulated by Trevor Packer from the beginning of the announcement that the College Board was going to move our exams online is that AP tests this year will be open note, open book. We don't have a book, which is fine, because I think the open book part of this is really a trap. You only have 45 minutes to write this condensed DBQ, so if you spend too much time flipping through a textbook looking for information, you are going to run out of time. The open note piece has me very intrigued, though. What I'm envisioning is when you sit down to take the test, maybe you're in your room, some hopefully quiet space in your house, and you've got your Chromebook to take your test on, but around you are a couple of pieces of paper that can assist you. We want to take advantage of work that we have already created to assist us, like our study guides and our time period acronyms. I'll also be creating some additional materials to add to your support collection. So you have this just like semicircle or circle of resources to help you around you. But all of them need to be really user-friendly and really quick access to information. One thing I'm going to be working on this week and watching my Facebook groups for is a document analysis handout. We don't think that we're going to get to print the documents. The documents are going to be given to you electronically. And so we've got to find a way for you to read the documents on a screen and then quickly take some notes rather than being able to write your annotations on the documents directly. It's going to take a little bit of practice. This is one of the reasons why I want to make sure we're doing enough practice DBQs before the exam for you to get the hang of something like this, because it's a big change. You will be getting on Thursday a modified DBQ rubric checklist that says, did I do the context? Yep. Did I do the thesis? Yep. Okay. What about this first body paragraph? What about the second body paragraph? What goes in those? And so you'll be able to just check. Okay, I'm done. So that will be coming to you Thursday so that you can use that on all of our practice DBQs as well. I'm considering some other resources from the AP Euro gurus. Tom Ritchie has released a 14-page summary of the course. And it's really, really nice. But if you don't have a printer at home, you certainly wouldn't want to rewrite the whole thing. So something that we're gonna consider, how can we use that to make it helpful for us. And then what we're gonna do today for your assignment is we're actually going to take our time period acronyms and we're going to expand them, so that you have like a brief little blurb, a snippet about what each of the words in the acronym means. We need to transition away from just memorizing the acronyms, because we don't have to do that anymore. And instead, we want to have the acronyms out there to help us remember, here's what happened in each time period, period 1, period 2, period 3, and what other events were contemporary to the event that I'm looking at. So what you're going to need to do this assignment for today is 3 pieces of paper. Lined paper is fine, printer paper is fine, whatever you have. I would use 3 different colors of pens or markers, writing utensils, to color code your charts. And then what I want you to do is attempt to make these charts in your own words, okay? I have linked on this slide and the previous slide the College Board website that talks about exam security and the measures the College Board is going to take to make the test as secure as they possibly can, even though it's being taken online and in a lot of cases from home. The big thing is there are some pretty significant threats of consequences for students that they catch cheating on the test. So they're going to run your DBQ through plagiarism detection software. And they also talk about how like no other person is allowed to assist you while you're testing. So you're not allowed to take out your phone and call each other. You're not allowed to have your dad, who's a history buff, sitting next to you helping you. And the biggest, I think, exam security measure they're taking is the consequences they have stated if they find that a student has plagiarized. They include things like not being able to take another AP exam ever again. They include threatening to send a notice to any college you want your scores sent to that says that you attempted to cheat on the 2020 exam. They're going to cancel scores for students who plagiarize. And so that's why I'm cautioning you that as you make these time period acronym charts, you want to make them in your own words as best you can. I know some things are just vocabulary words, but you're going to want to try to write things in your own words so that this can be a resource that you can use without fear of like doing something weird with it that's going to make Trevor Packer mad. So let me walk you through what I want you to do. Across the top of your paper, I want you to write period 1, 1450 to 1648. This period of the exam, or this period of the course, is testable, okay? And then I want you to write the acronym SCREW down the page. I wrote SCREW down the middle of the page so that I could write on both sides of the letters because we have a lot of different terms here. But whatever you want to do is fine. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write these big ideas off of the acronym, giving yourself some space to write a little bit of a description about each one, okay? So the S in period 1 is the scientific revolution, which the College Board actually puts in period 2, but there is no S in the period 2 acronym. So I went ahead and described it here. So just to give you an example of what I'm looking at, I just wrote scientific revolution, CB puts in period 2 to remind myself of that. And I wrote that the scientific revolution begins in this time period, but continues into time period 2. It featured discoveries and advancements leading to modern science, math, astronomy, anatomy, and medicine. And then I also wrote observation and reason, because those are the big kind of driving forces behind the scientific revolution. Notice that at this point, I am not listing key achievements or participants in the scientific revolution. I want my extended time period acronyms to be really concise. So I'm not going to write about like Copernicus and the heliocentric model right now. We'll put that in another review item we create later. I want these time period acronyms still to be pretty concise. There are a lot of words for C, and there's even one that I think the acronym is lacking. So let's move on to that one next.